What's cracking with you people? This is Davis Wolf and welcome back to another episode of Republic Commando. In the last one, we got our mission to move towards the center span. And I went off on a rant. I got hunters. And I went off on a bit of a rant about how I've come to view the Star Wars series, which I meant to ask you guys, like, what you felt about it, you know, just because I didn't want to be talking at you, telling you what one way was, you know, I was just kind of telling you my personal beliefs on how the story of of the prequel series ended up turning out. And I'm probably going to keep doing that a little bit more today, so forgive me if that's not your thing, or if that is your thing, let me know why in the comments below. But yeah, just kind of going off of that. One thing I have yet to mention in terms of the prequel series is it's essentially just all the work that has kind of led up to it. I mean, this is all the stuff that's come about as a result of the prequel series. Like the two animated television series. The first of which was called The Clone Wars, and I believe was animated by the exact same guy who did Samurai Jack. So the animation quality is up there. Nothing. Will you back off? So the animation quality is up there, if nothing else. Some of the best moments in Star Wars, I believe, came from those animated series. And then there was the second one, that was, I believe, was primarily computer generated, and if I'm not mistaken, is hailed as some of the best work in Star Wars, period. Because well, to be fair, there hasn't been much work in Star Wars relating to the original series in a digital media. I mean, sure, we have some games that let us play post Rebellion. Jedi Academy immediately comes to mind, which I hail as another great Star Wars game. But I can't think of too many games that have you play during the Rebellion, aside from a Rogue Squadron and maybe one or two others. I dare ya, green skin nutties. But that's more or less what I'm getting at. It's either when it comes to Star Wars as a digital medium, you either see stories that take place directly after the fall of the Empire, and Shadow of the Empire does take place during the Rebellion to some degree, but it's more of an offshoot than anything else. It's not like you're directly playing the events of it, which I think is a better way to do a lot of Star Wars stories, is just to take the pre-established universe and then just kind of... Did my flashbang just go off? Okay, I'm gonna throw that. But yeah, a lot of stories that people tell in terms of the Star Wars universe. Okay, I'm gonna need one of you guys to come get me. A lot of stories that are told to the Star Wars universe either take place directly after Rebellion, you either play the events of the Rebellion, like very famous inside the movies, during the prequel series, as we are doing now with Republic Commando, or in the case of Knights of the Republic, take place so far before any of the established universe that it's might as well be his own thing. And a lot of it I consider to be some of the best Star Wars stories ever told. Now, granted, we do have guys. Form up a little bit. Granted, we do have stories that take place during the rebellion or after the Imperial Age, but they're mostly in book form. Which, if you guys have any interest in it, I recommend picking it up.
If we can stop the separatists here, we can hold Kajiro. You'll need to place a charge on the center joint of the span. And squad, advise you evacuate the span before activating that charge.
We hear you. Now this bit here, going off a little bit off topic, or off my already off topicness. This is going to be a pretty difficult part, just because there's so much stuff they throw at you. Okay, we're gonna put one guy right here. Put another guy right there. So what else I'm gonna do at work?
Heavy droid resistance. Nothing we can't handle.
Okay, this is gonna be a little bit difficult just because we got droid dispensers and I'm gonna have to do this right here just to get rid of it. Oh my. Okay, so come back real quick.
Delta, please revive your squad mate. Take them out from there, Delta.
And I'm completely okay. So we're gonna have a bit of a time with this. Let's get somebody on sniper duty. Okay, we're gonna search and destroy here. Go pick up some ammo. Hide behind us for a minute because he's charging up. Fire that off. He's dead. So we're going to need to get somebody over there. Okay, so get somebody on grenade work right there. And we're just going to need to be really careful here just because these things spawn a lot. And you don't really have any cover.
Delta, form up. Sit up there, Delta.
I'm gonna have to run back, get some health here. If you get someone on that, if you can get somebody on that grenadier post, we might have a chance. As you can see, I'm kind of getting shot right now. But okay, so Sev is already doing his thing. We're gonna go ahead and detonate that. We have one thing to worry about. We're gonna need to get Sev over there, but I'm gonna need to throw one of these. He should be dead. Okay. Okay. Wait a minute.
Much better now.
You in there. I'm gonna go ahead and get onto this and give Sev some covering fire. But yeah, it's just a lot, in my opinion, a lot of the good stuff in terms of Star Wars stories doesn't come from either the prequel or the original saga. It comes from when it comes from stories that take place while within that setting is not the setting itself. You know what I mean? Like here, we're playing within the segment of the Clone Wars. That is what we are doing. But we are not playing a lot of the big screen stories that have been told. Like we're playing as a bunch of clone troopers and side stories that span a lot of the story. But let's detonate this before we continue on with that.
Good work, Deltas.
Misfire! Misfire! Who packed that charge?
You're gonna have to find another way to bring down that bridge. You have any more ordnance? Nothing with enough punch.
Sorry, boss.
Never mind. There's a fuel line running along the underside of the bridge. A well-placed rocket might set it off. Hold on while I locate the best firing position. Okay, Delta. Try that window to the upper right of the bulkhead door.
I get up there somehow, so we're gonna have to go through here. Let's go ahead and get somebody on this just in case.
Hold up, squad. I'm getting a read on something big headed this way.
Hope it's not a spider droid.
Got it. Go, go.
Guess what? It's a spider droid.
Great.
Droid dead.
Nope, 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 nope. I did not mean to get off of that. Okay, so just aim at that and fire it. This cannon does a decent enough damage, so you should be able to take this thing out no problem. Because you have everybody concentrating fire on it. And look at it, we already got rid of his two of his main shields. But yeah, it's just the I honestly have no idea how to properly explain this. But it's one of those things where if you play a game set in the series, oh, nope, not playing that mess right now. Well, you play a game set in, like, let's say you play a Lord of the Rings game. You don't really want to play the story of Lord of the Rings. You want to play a game set in the world that Lord of the Rings inhabits. You know what I mean? This is kind of what Star Wars, I think, does. The movies are the movies, and while it's nice to have, stories, found the rocket launcher, and while it's nice to have stories set, while it's nice to have games where you play the iconic moments from the franchise, you rather play something a little bit new. Okay, now, I'm not certain that I think you should be fine. So let's fire one off. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay, one more shot should do it. And let's keep going. And there's the bridge. Blew up nicely. And that's the Bridge of Katirho. Now for the next mission. Man, my words are not working today. The Wookiee Resistance. The conflict has escalated. If the Wookiees have any hope of repelling the hostile invaders, it lies with the brave warrior Tarful. Delta Squad must ensure he unites his forces against the Separatist threat. So yeah, we got another escort mission, I believe.
Alright, squad. Now that we've blown the center span and stopped the forward progress of the Separatists, we need to finish the job. We'll likely encounter heavy resistance, since the Separatists have had time to occupy this area at the bridge. Advance forward to the hangar, and keep an eye out for pockets of Wookiee resistance. They'll need your help. Work! Kill the lizard.
We took that time to reload there. But just going off like a previous thoughts, like I do maintain that the prequel series, while not entirely as bad as a lot of people make it out to be, I will not say that they're like God's gift to cinema. I will say that, you know, and I said it before, you know, just some proofreading of the script, letting the actors emote a little bit more, maybe letting them play with the movies, play with the script, because a lot of those actors, I guarantee, have probably grown up with Star Wars. You know, they probably love Star Wars as much as the next guy, and just would have generally enjoyed playing a part in that universe, or doing something to bring that universe to life. Okay, we got an ambush here. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna find some setup here. I'm out of ammunition. Let's do this. there. And I guess I'm out of missiles. I don't know why. I thought it would give you an instant refill, but I guess not. Oh well. Well, we're not gonna worry about it too much. But
Forward progress appears to be blocked. You'll have to look for an alternate route. Schematics show a maintenance shaft in the back corner.
well, thanks for that, advisor. But I am pretty much out of ammunition. Not anymore. But yeah, that's more or less what I'm getting at. It's just that a lot of the stories in Star Wars are good because they don't take place directly in the conflict, or at least they offer an interesting spin of what may be, what may be happening with those events. Like I remember Rogue Squadron 2, I believe it was Rogue Leader. It was on the GameCube. It was essentially one of those games that you play a majority of it as Luke Skywalker, but you're in a ship. You're essentially playing essentially like a space shooter kind of thing. I wouldn't call it a flight simulator. I don't think that's right. But it isn't that bad. You essentially spend most of your time in a vehicle. You have some on-foot segments, and I think they're clunky at best. Heaven forbid you try to use a lightsaber on that thing, but you do spend a lot of it. You do spend a lot of it in a ship, and you do play some iconic moments from the series. But they also give you missions that have you fight interesting enemies and interesting scenarios that they would explore inside the movies. Like there's one instance where Luke gets sent to Geonosis. He has to fight through a battalion of deactivated battle droids, and he finds Obi-Wan Kenobi's old Jedi starfighter. And it's honestly a pretty fun segment. It's one of the more memorable segments in my eyes. Okay, we got issues. Okay, we're going to deal with this just because this is just too much. This is just a little bit too much, you know. Okay. And just having that kind of flexibility, you know, being able to say, okay, so we have the prequels to draw from, and we have the original series to draw from. What can we mix in terms of stories to kind of hint at things that happen, but also give new, interesting twists that don't come completely out of nowhere? And I think, that a lot of the better stories do that very well.
It's ready, squad. Here they come again.
Heads up, we got orders.
Okay, we got a lot of fun. Need you to die. Can we leave now? Okay, we're going to. Good gracious. Get you guys here and get you guys here. Any other sniping positions that would really help. Just that one. There. Bowcaster, yes.
Bogey down.
Oh crap, 6-2 is dead. He ducked that like a pro.
Covering vector.
The Wookiee says that Tarful is cut off in Sector 3. It's just ahead of you. They've been unable to reach his location. Any assistance you can give them would be appreciated.
Well, okay, I guess we're going to give them some assistance. But, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to get my thoughts together. It's been a bit of a minute, because as you guys can tell, I don't usually like bringing this up, but I've been kind of out of it for the last couple of weeks. And that's just because I had a lot of stuff going on. Like, quick update, I essentially graduated from college, and I was getting ready for that. And just the whole stress of it all was making me sick, and it was just better for me not to record or do some other stuff I like to do to help on the side for fun, just so I can relax a bit. So I'm coming off a little bit raw. Okay, I am having a time here. Okay, can I snipe a bit? I'm gonna snipe a bit. I think that's good.
Delta Squad, let's take it down.
Let's get everybody set up here. The more you get set up, the better off you are. No, not down there, not just yet. Just barely missed him. And let's do... Fixer, I'm gonna need you to move. Okay. Okay. Let's go ahead and load.
You bastard. Now.
Let's get everybody healed up. But yeah, I'm just generally getting all that taken care of. But for the most part, it's
Sit up there, Delta.
for the most part, I'm trying to get my head back on. So I apologize if this episode comes off a little sloppier than most. But I think what I'm trying to say more than anything else is that
Form up. Stop looking around.
when it comes to Star Wars, I think Star Wars essence, what makes it a timeless part of pop culture, what makes it a icon of the sci-fi genre, is that it exists in a space that is all its
Just
own.
up ahead.
It puts forth the effort to make a world
You bastard. Now.
that
Blasted.
people can have fun just generally kind of watching. We don't have to worry about it being tied to the reality, even though it may share some overlap, even though there may be some even though it may share some overlap with real world issues, it is still its own thing. And that's where I'm going to leave it off here for now. We might come back to it later, who knows. But I've been a Devious Wolf. This has been Republic Commando, and I'll catch you later.